My name is Mary Glasier. I'm with Windwalkers International from Anchorage, Alaska, and I believe in the power of prayer. Prayer will not only change an individual, and all of us need change, but it will also change our homes, our neighborhoods, our cities, and our state. When I realized how desperate Alaska was for a move of God and how desperate our city was for a move of God, I decided to call for a prayer meeting in my home. Just a few people gathering together to pray. And at that time, I was becoming acquainted with Mission America, and it wasn't called Love 2020 at the time, but we had a prayer thrust at that time. And so we began to focus on our city and began to pray for God to really move on our city. Our city was terribly fractured at that time. The Christian community was not united, and God was, I felt God wanted to answer our prayers. He is so real in our prayers. He's so alive when we begin to pray. So we targeted our cities, and before long, God gave us an assignment to pray for our prison system in the city. And also, I asked the Lord if He would give us access to the prison system in the state. And we began to pray for our prisoners, all of our prisoners. We began to ask the Lord to give us the drug addicts, to give us the murderers. And I'm talking about give it to the church so that Jesus Christ could be glorified in their lives. And we had, I received a phone call from the commissioner of prisons, and I don't even know how he got my name or phone number. He just called me out of the blue and asked if I would pray, because they had a witch who was applying to be the chaplain of the prison systems in the state. So I called our prayer group, an emergency prayer group, and we went on our faces, began to cry out to the Lord to save our prisoners and to deliver them so that they would be able to receive the gospel. And God moved powerfully on our behalf and removed that threat, totally removed it from the state in a miraculous series of events. And within a matter of weeks, revival began to break out in all of our prisons. A new chaplain was appointed, a wonderful man of God, and he came to our pastor's prayer network to report that all the prisons now were coming into a place of revival. Our maximum security prison was really impacted. We had our director in the prison estimated that we had 70% of the prison had come to Christ. An amazing move of God. And I'm sure we're not the only ones who prayed, but I know we were specifically asked to pray. And today we now have a coalition of churches in Alaska that have joined together in Anchorage. We have several hundred churches who are working together with the governor and with the mayor to impact the community for Christ. And it began because there were people who decided to obey the command of the Lord to pray always and faint not. And we're seeing a wonderful move of God in our city.